It's the part of the book club that be pissing me off. Why the hell you niggas ain't tell me that Florence Ballard had a thing for one of the pips? Sometimes I be thinking you people ain't no good. You're just good for nothing. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NABROB on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below. You know I gotta show my dedications to the commanders. Please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue reading The Marvelettes by Mark Taylor. We were a bit disappointed about Wanda's pregnancy, says Catherine, because it was like, let's get the show on the road. Since we had to go on out there, we would have preferred for an original group to go out there, but instead Florence went out there with us to take Wanda's spot. Florence had a hell of a voice, and she had very good range. With Wanda pretty much singing soprano, Florence more or less easily fit into the group because not too many people had seen Wanda. Ain't that a mess? Because Florence had to replace Wanda while on maternity leave, and Cynthia had to replace Florence while on administrative leave. A lot of the places in part where we were performing, some of them were new, some of them were old, but your contract called for 5 girls, and there was no way club promoters would be that flexible. They wanted 5 to appear. Motown did ask them to reconsider in regards to that fact, but most promoters would not do it because we were known for having 5. Could you imagine if promoters allowed for there to be 4? You better believe that Berry DeGordy would have still been trying to get paid for 5, even though we know that none of the 5 ladies was getting paid, okay? The only person was getting paid was the house. You know, like the casino. They wanted 5 to appear. Motown did ask them to reconsider in regards to the fact, but most promoters would not do it because we were known for having 5. Wanda was barely a good 5 feet, but most of the public hadn't seen her. Florence had the height to fit in. With myself being about 5'7", Florence would be approximately the same height as myself, which would have helped to balance our appearance. Even though Wyanetta wasn't out there all that long, she was tall. On top of that, there weren't too many girls at Motown that could have filled the slot. The Supremes were pretty much the only girl group that was there. Oh, damn. So you trying to tell me that Florence got the job by default? Although Ballard's voice, height, and availability made her the logical choice to become a temporary Marvelette, it was not a completely smooth ride. The Marvelettes were a high-energy stage act with an emphasis on choreography, and Ballard was not a particularly gifted dancer. She found the choreography rather hard because we were a group with a lot of movement. We were quite active. There are some people who are dancers and there are some people who are not. She fell in the category of middle of the road. She wasn't really a dancer per se. During Ballard's time with the Marvelettes, she roomed with Gladys, with whom she quickly formed a bond. Having discovered a common ground in traumatic childhood teenage experiences, Ballard shared with Gladys her harrowing experience of being raped as a teenager, something no one at Motown outside of Ballard's fellow Supremes, Diana Ross and Mary Wilson, knew about. Ooh, y'all, that was a big deal. Remember when we read about that? And how tragic that was? It was like a date rape situation. She went to a dance with her brother, got separated from her brother, girl. Oh my God. And Flora seen a friend that she trusted, got in the car with the dirty dick motherfucker, and he raped her. How dare you? I trusted you, you dirty bastard. She came with us to learn about traveling on the road with a known group. It was at that time she told me about her grape. I was discussing with her that I had been brought up in a foster home. We were discussing bad times, and that's when she told me about it. Sometimes when you're young, things don't touch you as bad, and I looked at it as a part of her growing up. This was something that she went through, which was bad. Living in a foster home was sometimes bad. We were working a lot with Gladys Knight in the Pips, and she had fallen for William Guest. We used to talk about him a lot. She would ask, was he looking at me? And I would say, yeah, he was looking at you. I know you fucking lying. Who the hell is William Guest? Who the hell is that? I know you fucking lying. Who the hell is William Guest? Let me press pause in this goddamn thing. Who the hell? See, this is the part of the book club that be pissing me off. Why the hell you niggas ain't tell me that Florence Ballard had a thing for one of the Pips? Sometimes I be thinking you people ain't no good. You're just good for nothing. Florence and I roomed together, but I didn't learn a lot about her. We were working a lot with Gladys Knight and the Pips, and she had fallen for William Guest. We used to talk about him a lot. She would ask, was he looking at me? And I would say, yeah, he was looking at you. Ballard's tenure as a Marvelette merely lasted one tour. Wanda had a strong enough support system, her mother, sisters, and daughter's father, to juggle being a parent and an entertainer. The Marvelettes bounced back in the spring of 1962 with Playboy. Gladys sang lead on a track in which her character tells other guys to look out for a Casanova. However, she alternates between warning the girls and singing to the actual ladies' man, telling him to keep his distance from her because of the other girls whose hearts he broke before. Brian Holland and Robert Bateman handled the song's sparse production. Upon its release on April 9, 1962, Playboy would reach number 7 on the Billboard Pop chart and number 3 on its R&B chart. Gladys explains Playboy was a song that I wrote, and I wrote it by myself. I was just trying to copy off of Georgia Dobbins with Please Mr. Postman, but it didn't come out as good. It was one of those songs that Mickey Stevenson, Brian Holland, and Robert Bateman's names are on, but their names should not have been. Baby, let me tell you something. And we know we sick and tired of the Berry Gordies. But let me tell you how this game works. And I see what happened with Please Mr. Postman. It's all trickery, baby. It's all a scam. You hear me? So what happened was, when she brung the song to Motown, Berry Gordy was like, oh, we might can do something to this. But this how the game go. We can get you some writer's credit on this, girl. But you're going to have to put 3 other people on there so we all can get paid. But the lady was like, why do we all have to get paid? Because we all didn't write the song. Look, you want this song to hit the radio? I tell you what, the only way this song is going to hit the radio is unless you get these guys' name on it. Could you imagine a woman's song being on the friggin' radio without one of the niggas from Motown name being on it too? They're going to have to get all that money to that little girl? Answer, no. Answer, no. We got a team full of writers here. They too stupid to write the song. So guess what? We won't say that they were smart enough to help you write the song. It was only when Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye said, F that stuff you talking, Barry Bed Bug Bites. I want to write my own music. I want to arrange my own music. I want to produce my own music. Therefore, I'm going to keep everything. Now that I'm in my 50s, I realize that when you write a song, if you're the only one there at the time the song is being written, your name is supposed to be the only one on the front cover. There's a songwriter's income that you can negotiate with other writers, but whenever you put their names on the cover, that gives them the right to divide the royalties evenly. That's what a songwriter lawyer told me, and that's what happened with Playboy. Mickey Stevenson's writing contribution came in on the end with one line. He told me his name is supposed to be on the writing of it. I believed him, and his name went down. If he did that same today, the answer would be, oh no. But you live and you learn. Brenda Holloway was a West Coast-based Motown artist in the 1960s who scored a major hit in 1964 with Every Little Bit Hurts. She was also one of the few Motown female artists who wrote songs. Her You've Made Me So Very Happy was a huge hit for Blood, Sweat, and Tears in 1969. And her song Ba 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 ended up on the Supreme's Reflection album. She points out, if you wanted your song out, you better share songwriting credit. We already know that the Motown are niggas. With the Marvelettes riding high, there was continuous pressure on them as one of Motown's top artists at a time when the label was still growing and needed the girls to pump revenue into the company. As a result, they were constantly torn. As the Marvelettes were the girl group that Motown experimented with on the road, the girls endured less than desirable accommodations, food, and travel. This proved to be too much for Wyanetta, who suffered a nervous breakdown.